Okay, we are here in Senate Institutions. Today is Friday, April 17th, 2026. We have two items that we're going to discuss today. The first one is the Wi-Fi in the corrections facilities. We've been talking about that for years. The second item is a markup and a discussion of the capital bill. We have several items that we're working on, and we aren't going to have a final bill to vote on until next week, which is what we expected. Now, talk about the process when we get back to that. So, so first we'll start with DOC representation. Who is here. We had hoped that the Agency of Digital Services would be able to be here. They're not able to. We'll probably need to check back in with them on this item. It's very important to this committee that we have Wi-Fi, improved Wi-Fi. There's some Wi-Fi, but it's really important that we have more Wi-Fi for both the employees and the people who live there, and for many reasons that we've talked about. So we're concerned, and thank you for being here. And so if you can update us and let us know your plan.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Kristen Calvert, Deputy Commissioner of Corrections. So I have an update for you on where we're at and what our next steps are. We've re-engaged with ADS this year to get this project back off the ground. Currently, we have an intake form submitted approved through ADS. We've got some folks that signed some projects, and kind of our next steps are a number of assessments that need to take place to refine some preliminary quotes that we've received, which could include reheat mapping or just reviewing that to make sure it's still accurate. We'll need to do a security assessment, so that's a network security assessment, but also assessing kind of physical security needs just within the facility, devices, etc. Part of that is the facility assessment, which again is the heat mapping process where they kind of determine what hotspots are needed, wiring, etc. We would also need to engage with BGS still on the actual installation, cabling, and wiring. And we need to complete a paper to digital process assessment for how our work is completed. And so part of that is work within DOC, but also a partnership with ATS and BGS. So the plan right now is to have the full proposal baked and ready to put forth early fall and summer, so August, September. And at that point, we come back with a full proposal and cost estimate to include more refinement on the base cost with me going forward. We estimate now to complete these assessments about $250,000 is what we would need. So not the full $3 million that has been put in, but the $250,000
for these assessments.
Correct.
And who would do these assessments?
It'd be a partnership with ADS.
And you've kind of already done a lot of this work.
We've done some of them, but they're
redoing.
heat mapping. Yeah, but it's fairly old. It was, I think, end of 22, early 23 when that heat mapping was done. So we just want to make sure the appropriate people are reviewing that. Or if we need to redo the whole thing or pieces of it, we have the ability to do that.
And would it have changed?
Possibly. I can't speak to those. That's more of a technician assessment. But there is a possibility that it could change.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. What's the timing for the heat mapping to happen? And that's critical because that may give us time to, because there's as far as funding, where that funding is coming from, and if that to actually know if funding will be different.
Understood. So I'll say that most of these assessments would hopefully happen all at the same time. So we wouldn't, do one and then move to the next. From what I recall, the first round of heat mapping, it was about 4 or 5 months to complete.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be something we would prioritize as a first.
So there's several parts of this. This isn't just a one. Okay.
Yeah. So we kind of run all these assessments simultaneously so they would meet up at the timeline.
Okay.
We also heard that there's potentially some other source of monies to actually take this project forward. Do you have any update on where that stands or
Yeah, we explored a couple other options. One was funding through the Vermont Broadband Board, that we've been told is not an option at this point. The funds are already allocated to other projects. The second is a congressionally designated spending package. We put that application in last week, but we have no timeline, on when it would be approved or if it would be approved. And so we're not relying on that at this time, but we're still pursuing funding sources.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's actually news. So just the sequencing is a challenge because you actually did do some preparation. You did analysis. What's the result of that analysis?
From previous years.
Yes.
Yeah, there was the previous quote we had was around 3 million, which is similar to this very preliminary one that we have now. And some we built those preliminary estimates off of that older quote. So it may come back as the same, it may not. But a lot of that will hinge on vendors, and then also some work with BGS to ensure we don't run into any surprises on the actual install.
Is there any materials that you can give us, like a list
Yeah,
of sites, and just some, because we're not seeing any progress, and you said that there's reports, right? I mean, maybe give us some reports. I mean, we just need to know that something is going to happen and that you will move forward.
Mhm. We will be moving forward, absolutely. I can provide you the reports that we have from the last time.
That would be
We just
helpful.
don't have the new reports yet.
Okay, and the vendor, I mean, do you have an RFP out? Who's gonna make those analysis? Is that gonna be BGS or?
Yeah, my understanding is that they
AGN?
have a vendor kind of secured, that's doing similar work in other state buildings, so hopefully we'll be able to leverage those agreements.
Oh, so
That's
knowing who
the
that
idea.
vendor is, that would be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just seems, I don't think the buildings have changed that much.
They haven't changed that much, but the networks that are in there have changed, so if we can use existing conduit, things of that nature. We have some access points in a couple of our facilities in the visitation rooms, for attorney visits. So there's been kind of minor changes that might kind of overall result in some larger changes. to the project.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Have we looked at anything that more modern, like Starlink?
We have not, but that could probably be considered in this, absolutely.
right. I would think especially wireless.
Mhm.
And, I mean, digging trenches in prisons doesn't sound like a smart thing to do.
No, I don't think it'd be translated to be.
I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I see what you're saying, but I
yeah, I
don't think
mean,
it's
they're
up to.
built to not be,
Mhm.
yes.
Everything is going wireless now, so.
Everything is, yeah, and we've even had very baseline discussions about RFID versus, Wi-Fi access points. As an option, so it's all about what we need for a solution, the problem we're trying to solve. Right now, we're heading on the Wi-Fi track because other networks that exist in the facility, we know it can work. But we're happy to explore other options.
Yeah, it would be helpful to have something before we leave. Yes, so not wait until August.
Yes.
So if you can get the reports to us that you already have, like next week, because you already have those. And then I think we should talk again about the schedule.
Okay.
Just so that we can have, a better sense that something will happen. Because I know you have multiple priorities.
Many priorities.
So does BGS
Of
and so
course,
does
yeah,
ADS.
yeah.
But this needs to get to the top.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions? All right, well, thank you for coming. And is there anyone else who wants to chime in, speak up? No? Okay. So now we can. I don't know where, or let's take a brief recess. Okay, so we are